I'm not a racist, preach the teacher. You still they never had this. Number one, them wanna run about the gun. I wasn't licensed to have one. The minute they see me, fear me. I'm the epitome, a public enemy. Use, abuse, without clues. I refuse to blow fuse. They even had it on the news. Don't believe the hype. Don't believe the hype. Don't believe the hype. Back when I wrote y'all, yes.
Yesterday we had a lot of calls. It was weird. I don't know if it's the in-studio energy. I do kind of think the energy is different in studio. I know I'm different. First of all, I have to drive. I don't have to, but I don't like to be driven, and I'm definitely not taking public transportation. So I do drive into the city. I've been driving into the city since I was 23 years old, since I got NYP plates at the New York Daily News. I've bbeen driving into New York City for a long time. It is very stressful. I didn't realize how stressful until the pandemic. I was stressed out. So what y'all, Smith, you're attesting to the fact that I would come in on two wheels stressed out. So I'm a much more calm version of myself. You know, self-reflection. Shut up, Smith. Self-reflection. I don't know. Maybe it could be my age too, Smith. I have aged since the pandemic. You know, maybe I've mellowed a little bit since the pandemic. But I feel like being in the city is stressful. So I had to brave the traffic for reasons I can't even explain because it made no sense. And then I come in, I'm doing this pre-tape with Wendell Pierce. He was beautiful. He was lovely. Shout out to Gilda Squire, who was handling him. And I was just grateful that she was there as well. But then we got into the studio and it was like, you know, the energy. And then the calls kept coming in. It was like call after call. It was like all the lines were lit. So it was a lot. But the last caller, one of the last calls, I think she was Sue in Long Island or something. And a couple of y'all yesterday wanted to chastise me about letting you talk. So I thought it would be nice to have, I thought we had ground rules here, but I might need to repeat them because they're new folk. Welcome. They're people that have been here for the last 10 years, so you kind of know what this is. But they're people who by accident found the station, or because I'm not going to assume that anyone is just actually trolling. But I do think that there's a sense of entitlement among some of you, that you have the right to just talk without any knowledge. And I will let you know in a very condescending way that you do not have that right on these airwaves. You will not be granted those rights to just say whatever you want to say with no backup, with no institutional or tertiary knowledge, without any references, without any anecdotally even. You have to come with some receipts on these airwaves. This is Urban View, folk. This ain't just a regular radio channel. We require something of you. And part of the requirement is that you at least be honest, an honest actor. So I did some self-reflection. I even went to the dictionary because, you know, you're going to call me something. While I do know what it means, let me dive in and actually know for sure that I am being that. So condescending, having or showing a feeling of patronizing superiority. Now, I had to sit with that for a minute. Do I have a feeling of patronizing superiority? I don't feel superior to anyone, but I am patronizing. So I had to own that. I do definitely have this kind of way that I communicate. Do I have a feeling? I do show it too. So while I may not be feeling superior, it may come off that way. And in the superiority, since we talk, because that's a triggering word, right? And I reject that, right? I reject it. But if I'm thinking about it, because this is self-reflection, I said yesterday, I'm asshole intolerant. But when I really think about it, because I had to drill into me, I'm ignorant intolerant. Like I have an aversion and a visceral reaction to abject, willful ignorance. And it does infuriate me. And so you will get a reaction from me if you are not clear. But even that, I think I have patience around lack of clarity, because calling into a radio show is daunting. I think I make space for people being nervous. I do make space for all that. What I'm not making any space for is the inability to listen to reason, process it, digest it, and then come to a conclusion based on the evidence that has been presented to you, because we do a lot of work here. We do a lot of work here to get it right. And sometimes we don't get it right. So there needs to be an accountability on all sides. But if I have to admit when I'm wrong, which I think I do, often, I think I've apologized a lot on these airwaves when we get it wrong. Because that's what an accountable adult does. Because who wants to be wrong? Who wants to sit in being wrong? There's no joy or badge of honor in knowingly being wrong. So when there's new information presented, I go, oh, what I thought I knew, I don't know that anymore. That was wrong. Here's the correct information. And we'll sometimes even fact check in real time. Like, oh, that's not the right information. We don't want to put out any bad information. So why would you want to call a radio station and put out bad information? So I'm taking that as an assault on our intelligence and our humanity. So I won't take that lightly. So what comes off as condescension is actually an intolerance to playing in our faces. Not going to tolerate it, right? Now, who am I? Well, the name of the show, it tells you the story. So yeah, I do have a bit, and Loree said this was the clip I was looking for yesterday, Smith, where she talked about there being not an equal, there is definitely a power dynamic because we are sitting behind the microphones, those of us that have our names on our shows, right? But I do think we want to engage in dialogue because I had a very lovely conversation today with Amber Cabral off mic. It was beautiful. And she said something about me that, that it's unusual that people could be intimidated because, I say what I say without apology. And I was like, I didn't think that was an unusual quality. I would hope I talk to people the way I would like to be talked to, in the sense that I'm coming from a place of, wanting to know, curiosity, but also like, I want to get it right. And it's okay. What the problem I find is that people rather be right or appear right than to actually be right. So you rather argue down a point just so that you can check a box that you got that off, as opposed to, is my view on this correct? Am I looking at all sides of this? Am I really examining what's at stake here, the consequences for everyone? Or am I got an idea in my head and that's it? Because I have examined everything. And I think it's the height of insult to come on the radio, because I think one brother, the one before Sue in Long Island, who I don't think was an honest actor, but he basically said that he doesn't believe that I am looking out for the good of everybody. Farouk, somebody called him for fuck or something, which I was all here for. I was like, wait a minute, but that did sound, it felt right. It rolled off the tongue.
Out of pocket for that shit.
It felt good. But yeah, that hurt me more than anything anybody could say, because the one thing that I'm very clear about is that I want everyone to win. I want everyone to be healthy, wealthy, and wise. I want y'all all to succeed. I want you all to live your best lives. And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. So when he said, so I'm leading y'all to slaughter by saying, vote and don't vote for Trump, and don't vote for Jill Stein, and don't vote for Cornel West. These are throwaways that could lead us all to something that I don't think anybody will want. And when it happens, it'll be too late. I'm just going on history, and what has happened in the past. But I'm also, a little bit of a soothsayer. I can see a little bit into the future, not because I got some special magical powers, but because I've lived long enough and read enough and been around enough people and I ask enough questions. And we talk to a lot of people who know stuff on these airwaves. So those of you who have not been here for the whole 10 years know that I've talked with people off mic, on mic, and I don't leave any stone unturned, because there's a responsibility when you have a platform, or at least there should be a responsibility. And I don't take it lightly, that if I'm opening my mouth to say something, I absolutely believe it. And anytime somebody comes, oh, you must be getting paid or anything, you sound real dumb, because there's no amount of money. And this is why people don't run to the show because I can't be compromised. There's nothing you could offer me. I'm good. So there's no job. There's no position. I don't even half want to be around people anyway. So you can't invite me somewhere that's going to make me excited. There's nothing. I don't want a picture with you. There's nothing you could give me that would make me compromise my values, but also this audience's trust. There's nothing. There's not a thing that I can be given. So even that notion, hell, we're just now getting ads from the damn DNC. I don't even know if it's DNC because it sounds like Kamala Harris. Because they got $1 billion. Yeah, you should put some money on Urban View, and you should come talk to us too, just to say thank you to this audience. But if you don't, I'm still going hard in the paint. Let's be very clear, because it's not about her. It's about us. It's not about her. It's about us. And what is our best chance to not just survive, but to thrive and get some things done, and get things done with our breath still intact. Because that other guy doesn't give a damn about your breath at all. So it's clear. It's binary. You could say there's other choices, but there aren't. That would make you not an honest actor, because it's absolutely not true. So I might be condescending. So I had to work through that. And I don't know if I'm going to change that. I feel okay about, because it's a feeling that you have. That's a you problem more than it is a me problem. If I make you feel, because I don't know you, if I make you feel stupid, then get smart. That would be my reaction. This woman is making me feel like I don't know anything. Maybe I don't know anything. Do I know anything? That would be my question. Do I know what she's talking about? I don't. So maybe I should ask questions. Or let me get reading. What is she reading? What are the people reading that know things? Maybe I should be well read, so when I call up, I can actually add something to the damn conversation, actually bring some goodness to the airways, because I've offered a different perspective rooted in something I've actually studied, as opposed to just picking stuff off my dingleberries because I feel like it. But she making me feel bad about myself, so I can't stand her. And if that's your response, that's you. You need some stuff. Or you want me to shut up because the things that I'm saying make you uncomfortable, but that's where the growth happens. I say things to myself that make me uncomfortable. And you know, when that happens, I have to get busy working on me. It's not an easy thing working on yourself. I promise you. It's constant. You're constantly going to disappoint yourself. You're constantly going to be like, damn, I thought I conquered that. Oh my God, I can't believe I'm back here. That's a constant journey that you're on. That's what life is. And it's beautiful. It's complicated. It's messy. It's wonderful. It's all of the things. And at the end of it, your job is to be the best, most full version of yourself so that you can contribute to society. Something better, something more. But if you spend it navel gazing, worrying about what didn't happen or what somebody didn't do or how you feel, feelings aren't facts. So we need to know that too. So am I condescending, Sue in Long Island? To you, probably, because you don't know enough to engage in a conversation with me. And I'm going to stand on that because I do put a lot of work into knowing things. So it's not equal. Our opinions aren't equal. We are equal as human beings, but that's where the work comes in. And if you aren't doing the work, what's your responsibility? Do you have responsibility to open your mouth and know what you're talking about and being held accountable to know what you're talking about? And if I stop you to make sure you know what you're talking about, because there are millions of people listening and they deserve to hear things that are truthful, that's my responsibility. Should you not deliver? And if your answer is no, then this may not be the program for you. Go find some place where they'll just let you talk. Maybe 6 o'clock, but not today.
My days are cooler, nights are warmer, and I put the blame on you. Time moves slow, but my heart beats faster. When these eyes are looking right at you, you give me something to believe in. Just what I needed. You're the closest.